I'm Mindy Martell, owner of Clothier Design Source, and we promised a Q&A video. We had put out a call a couple weeks ago of any of your questions that you might have that you've been wanting to ask us about our factory, our clothing factory, or our development process. So I'm going to read some of the questions we got today and give you the answers. So from House of Roxy B, we were asked, can you show us samples of a few garments you have produced and what the cost ranges are? I know it won't be a sure quote, but it would be super helpful to see what our ideas would roughly cost to manufacture. This is a question we get very common. It's a very common question, so thanks for asking it. So I brought a few examples of things that we've sewn, and I'm going to give you a cost range and kind of explain some stuff. So we sew a huge range of things, so I just grabbed a few random examples. So this right here is a swim short. It's a men's swim short. It actually has like a more Cordura kind of fabric on the back, and then more of a swim fabric on the front. Very durable. This is a super high-end item. It was made for a brand that is a men's heritage brand. It's got a lot of details, such as the back pocket here. It's got some drain holes, and then it also has a full liner in it, so I'm just kind of showing you how much detail is in the garment. So it also has some custom made, what are called egglets on the end of the drawstring. So anyway, as you can see, it has quite a few details. And so this short would manufacture from anywhere from about $19 to maybe $35 per piece. And the reason why there's that big range is because it depends a lot on the quantity that you want to make. So maybe that $35 range would be making as little as possible, maybe 100 units or something, and then going up to that, $19, $20 range per piece would be if you're making maybe at least 500 units or more, maybe even 1,000. So that's kind of a range. That's a piece to show you. Okay, so another piece is this simple t-shirt that we've made. It's a fashion t-shirt, but really nothing special about the construction of it. It's more about the fit and fabric. It has a nice neck taping in the back. It's made out of a really nice fabric. A good fit, but this is going to be anywhere from maybe $14 a piece to maybe $22 a piece. And actually you could maybe get it down to maybe $12 a piece or so. And that again is based on quantity. So if you're looking to making very little amount of units, you're going to be looking into that $20 range. If you're going to be making hundreds and hundreds or even thousands, you're going to be in the very low teens range. I do want to clarify that that does not include fabric. That is the cut and sew cost. So you always want to add fabric onto what most manufacturers are going to give you for a cut and sew cost, and we can help you estimate that as well. Okay, I've got one more example. Again, this is probably the most complex piece that I'm going to show you. This is a baby onesie. And it looks sort of simple, but it has lots of features. It's got these mitts that are for the protection of the baby's hands. It's got a custom snap here, and it's got some protection around the back neck. The hood was highly engineered. It has little footies on it that can pop out. It comes down in kind of a side zipper way. So anyway, it's got reflective piping in it, so it's just loaded with features. So this piece is going to be anywhere from maybe $23 per piece to all the way up to maybe $45 per piece. And that again is if you're going to make small quantities, you're on that higher end. If you're making large quantities, you're on the lower end. Again, does not include fabric, so just remember to include that. So if you have a product, just feel free to reach out to us, even a product idea, and we can kind of give you a general range, no problem. And then once we start working with our clients and designing and developing for them, we really narrow it down to a more firm price as we're going, and we're letting our clients know, like, if you want to add that feature into your product, it's going to raise your price, or if we take that feature away, it'll lower it. So we really work to try to make sure to meet your price points. These are made in America price points as well, so keep that in mind. So that is going to be different than if you're making overseas. Okay, so our next question is from Solo Kind PR, and they say, hi there, I want to know if you manufacture small collections, and if so, what is your minimum? So this is a great question, very common question. The answer is yes, we definitely manufacture small collections. We will manufacture as little as one style. We do have 100-piece minimum per style. So you could launch your line or your product by just offering one style and many colors and many sizes, and that's fine as long as you manufacture 100 pieces. And that's just going to affect your minimum. It's just going to affect your price, like I was talking about before. It could be, if you do the 100 pieces, your price is going to be higher than if, let's say, you did 1,000 pieces. But definitely we do help do small collections, and again, that minimum is 100 pieces. Okay, so the next question we have is from K Sun Lake Shore Drive. And they say, hello, working on a startup men's casual pants line. I've done a lot of research on types of cotton fabrics. It seems 97% cotton and 3% spandex is a common blend. Very true. However, I can't seem to find this fabric combination. I've found fabric resources not to be interested in helping or just not responding to emails. How do I ask the right questions to find the right fabric? Again, thank you for any help you may offer. This is a very excellent question. I will try to give a condensed version answer to this question. So first of all, it is hard to work with fabric vendors. It is hard to get them to take you seriously, and it is hard to get them to help you, especially if they can sniff out that you're new to the industry. They tend to maybe want to spend less time helping you because they're looking for that big order. So couple tips: you want to be able to ask the right questions when you're looking for fabric, and the very first tip is do not go to a fabric vendor and ask for the blend of fibers from them, and that's your only piece of information. So for instance, don't go to a fabric vendor and say, I want 97% cotton and 3% spandex, and that's all you've asked them, because that's a dead giveaway that you're not from the apparel industry, that you're new, and they're going to be less likely to help you. There's a lot of missing information there, like what kind of fabric is it? Is it a woven or is it a knit? I'm going to paste a link right now in this video to another video about fabric and the difference between wovens and knits and the features of fabric. So I recommend you watch that if you want to get more in depth on how to talk to a fabric vendor. So back to, is this a common blend? Yes. The problem is, think about maybe your denim jeans. That could be 97% cotton and 3% spandex. Or think about maybe your t-shirt. That could be 97% cotton and 3% spandex. So as you can see, that blend of fibers isn't a whole lot of information that's needed. So I think that's where you're running into that problem. Is it isn't just the fibers, it's what kind of fabric and all of the features of that fabric. So again, take a look at the video that I'm linking to more about fabric features. and that will help you learn how to ask those right questions. But the key is ask more or have more information about what you're looking for, and the number one tip is cut a swatch out of a garment that you like, send that to a fabric vendor and say, do you have this? Because that way you don't really need to know any of the technical features, you're just sending them a swatch and letting them surmise what's going on with the fabric. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, the next question is from D. Lang Designs. It says, hi, thank you. What advice would you give to a startup designer looking to do a small run each quarter? I'd like to start with 3 looks, a skirt, top, and jacket, doing a small run of 10 pieces each, wanting the retail price to range from $79 to $199. The quotes I've gotten take me out of being able to sell at this retail price. The reason was due to the amount produced. Any advice on if this is realistic? How could a startup keep this range of pricing and make a profit? This is a great question. Kind of like I was talking about in the very first video, it has to do with your quantity. So the quantity that you want to make is only 10 per style, which makes sense. I know when you're starting out, you want to start small. The thing you're going to have to realize is the amount of work that somebody is going to have to take to make those 10 styles is going to be 10 times more work per piece than if you were to make 100 or even 1,000, of course. So to get your price down in that range that you're asking for, you're going to have to make more per piece. So I would recommend at least making 100 per piece. Or you just kind of have to bite the bullet, make 10 per piece, pay that much higher cost, and basically understand that you're not going to start making a profit until you're able to get your quantities up. Or you're going to have to raise your retail price and be able to sell your product at twice that retail that you're hoping for. So those are kind of your options. So to kind of go back to your basic question, is it realistic to be able to only make 10 pieces and make a profit at that retail you're kind of thinking? And the answer is no. It's really not realistic until you get your quantities up. And then you can start making a profit. So we work with a lot of companies that kind of have to understand that part of the investment of starting a business is I'm not going to make a profit until I'm selling hundreds and thousands of units, and then that's when we're going to start to realize the profit. So it's just kind of the cost of being a startup. Okay, great. The next question and the final question is from CC Dion. CC Dion says, I need sourcing info on textile companies that specialize in knits or have a large selection of knits. I'm looking for French terry fabrics and heavier cotton knits in rust colors and neutral colors, such as oatmeal heathered and wheat colors. I was supposed to attend the Magic Sourcing show, but I had to change plans. So good question. So it sounds like you have a very specific need. I would like to just say to you that we offer fabric sourcing services here. So if you did want help, you could hire us for the fabric sourcing service. And what we would do is we would present you with 15 to 20 options per type of fabric that you're looking for. And we would, you'd have a myriad of ranges of price range and qualities and features and things like that. And they would all be what you're looking for, French terry. So if you did want to reach out to us, give us a call or reach out at info@clothierdesignsource.com. If you do want to tackle this on your own, which is possible, I would recommend watching that link that I posted earlier in the video about how to talk to a fabric vendor. Or the next best thing would be cut a swatch. If you have a fabric in your closet, if you have you know, a sweatshirt or something you like, just cut an 8x8 inch swatch out of it. Take that, you might even get away with 5x5 inches. Cut a few of those out and send them to vendors that maybe you're finding on the internet or things like that, and tell them this is what you're looking for. Otherwise, again, you can send us the swatch, and then we'll just gather options from all over. You know, we have relationships with 250 vendors all over the world, so we'll just gather swatches from them and send them out to you and make sure we get the right fabric for you. So those were the questions we received on Instagram. Thanks again for everyone who was engaged with it. You know, feel free to call us up or contact us at info@clothierdesignsource.com, and we're happy to do free 15-minute consults on helping you figure out how to navigate the apparel industry. And also check out the Apparel Academy. If you're looking for more education, I do teach an Apparel Academy class 4 times a year. We have one coming up soon. So check out the link in the description.